Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle. Nazca's usually with me, but I don't know where he's at. Today, we're diving into a critical topic that very few people talk about. I think it's maybe because it's taboo. I feel like, I'm not sure. But it's the small but hurtful gaslighting phrases that parents might unknowingly and a lot of times intentionally use that deeply affect vulnerable children, especially those on the autism spectrum, and especially those who are undiagnosed. Parenting, it's an incredible journey, filled with joy and definitely challenges. Guess I'm going to take my braids out. Challenges, right? However, let's face it, there's no guidebook that fits every situation. Even with the best intentions, parents may say things that unintentionally leave a mark on the child's self-esteem and emotional health. So, what exactly is gaslighting? It's a form of psychological manipulation where one person makes another doubt their reality or feelings. Sounds intense, right? Well, imagine this happening to a child who is still trying to understand their world, and especially for a child who feels like an alien in their own skin and doesn't understand the world around them. In children, especially those who are vulnerable, constant gaslighting can lead to deep-rooted self-doubt and confusion. I can vouch for that. What seems like harmful banter can become a corrosive thread that unravels their self-worth. It does. It'll make you feel lower than dirt. It really will. One of my mom's favorite things to tell me was I was a one-night stand. And I'm a literal thinker, and I do have a different father than all of my siblings, and I don't know, I just felt like that was a true statement, but it really hurt my self-esteem. All right, let's explore some common phrases that parents may use with or without realizing their impact, and discuss how they can affect a child's self-perception, particularly for children diagnosed with autism. Number 1, you're just being too sensitive. Who here has heard that? The phrase, you're just being too sensitive, can be incredibly damaging. It dismisses a child's feelings, sending the message that their emotions are invalid or undeserving of attention. For a child on the spectrum, who may struggle with emotional articulation, hearing this can lead them to believing their feelings are wrong or that they shouldn't trust their own perception. This can be challenging, especially when this stuff doesn't come natural to individuals that are on the spectrum. So we learn to mimic the people around us, usually our parents. And when you grow up in an unstable environment, this can lead to trauma as an adult with interacting. Number 2, stop crying. There's nothing to be upset about. So I have a little story. I am guilty of saying this one to my older son. And I didn't realize it until he finally looked at me and he goes, "It's not fine. It's not fine. These are my feelings." And that was when I took a step back. And I felt bad. I realized that I was just not paying attention. Okay, stop crying. There's nothing to be upset about. This one can come across as flat out dismissive, don't you think? Crying is a natural response to many situations. Happy tears, sad tears, overwhelmed tears. When I just break down, it's because I just hit rock wall or a brick wall, and I'm either gonna get really, really mad, and that's how my feelings come out, or I just start crying. Crying is a natural response to many situations, and saying there's nothing to be upset about teaches children that their emotions are insignificant. It's crucial for all children, especially those with autism, to feel safe expressing how they feel. Their emotional response are a valid part of their experiences growing up. I know that I was made fun of, or if I try to confide in my mom or tell her anything embarrassing, the whole family would know. So trust is hard. So not only recognizing these red flags, learning to undo all of your coping skills is hard. Number 3, Why can't you be more like insert name, so-and-so? Ouch. This one definitely stings. Comparing children to anybody, particularly when one person may have neurodiverse challenges, fosters feelings of inadequacy and definitely resentment. It sets a dangerous precedent, encouraging... Sorry, I gotta slow down. My speed for what I'm reading is going a little too fast. Where'd it go? Oh yeah. Why can't you be more like so-and-so? Comparing them can definitely lead to feeling inadequate and having resentment feelings. It sets a dangerous setting, encouraging unhealthy competition and an unrealistic standard that can lead to significant emotional harm. Never feeling like you're gonna meet that individual's, perception of you. Number 4, you're overreacting. This is 4. This phrase can create huge self-doubt in children. When a child genuinely feels something big is happening, telling them they're overreacting can diminish their reality. This becomes even more complicated for children on the autism spectrum, who may have unique sensory and emotional responses that are different from neurotypical children. I know I'm like that, constantly being told my feelings don't matter or that it's not that big of a deal. I just learned to suppress them. And then eventually, I can only suppress so many feelings and then I explode. Now, let's visualize how this kind of language can profoundly impact children diagnosed with autism or those who remain undiagnosed. Understanding autistic children may grapple with their, I don't like that word. I need to pick better words when I'm making these videos because it sounds good when I read it and I just don't like that word. Understanding autistic children and how we're going to make a new word up, how their feelings are, it's important. If their parents' words undermine their experiences, it can lead to a fragmented self-image. They might wonder, am I really worthy of understanding anything in the world? Do my feelings even matter? Does anybody even really want me? And why am I so different? These things might not seem overwhelming to a lot of people or just not that significant. They are. But there is hope. There's tangible steps parents can embrace to communicate kindly and compassionately with their child, loved one, or just someone they care about who may be struggling. Let's go over some of these. Number 1, validate emotions. Whenever your child expresses their feelings, try saying, it's okay to feel that way. Let's talk about it. This simple acknowledgement positions their emotions as real and worthwhile acknowledging, like someone cares about how they personally feel. I would have loved to know how that felt growing up. I do have a good support group now, and that's important. A healthy support group is so, so important. Number 2, use I statements. Instead of saying, you're wrong, shift to, I feel worried when I see you upset. This invites openness, focusing on emotions rather than blame. Nobody ever wants to be blamed. 3, offer reassurance. I think I just mentioned a good support group makes a world of a difference. Regularly remind your child that it's perfectly fine to experience a whole spectrum of emotions. Practicing this type of empathy at home is essential to building emotional resilience and a good relationship with that individual that might be on the spectrum. All right, I think that's it for this video. If you found this information helpful, make sure to, you know what I'm going to say, subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and I just got a message, and share this video to help spread awareness for late diagnosed autism and mental health topics. Let's come together as a community, foster a better outlook and understanding of what it means to be autism. Remember, parenting is tough, but we can do this together. Stay kind, stay aware, and I'll see you next time. Danielle out.